Hello, welcome to the first LCK match on this channel. I've just wanted to cast something, and Half-Life T1 series is on the board, so I thought, yeah, why not do this one? Why not? Still gonna be fun. Wait, let me just put this a bit higher if possible. Let's see if it lags. It's fine. I think it's fine. Just see this. Just set this up. Okay, just gotta make sure that it doesn't lag too much. Perfect. Okay. I'm just gonna look at this LCK match for a bit. This is game 2 of the series from T1 against Half-Life. I've looked at game 1 just to get myself into the mix a bit, just to get myself a bit comfortable. Yeah. That's why I'm probably not gonna cast the entire series. Just gonna cast like 1 or 2 games. My goal is not to cast the entire series, but also just try my cast in general. Especially because my last casts were mainly in German, and now I'm gonna turn myself in English a little bit more. Especially because I still need that flow in my voice. I need that energy. I need to build that energy and that excitement when I want to be a short cast, not a boring color cast. And am I right, boys? So, just gonna to cast this to the best of my abilities. Half-Life took this the first game, and T1 was had an early game a bit, but the problem about T1 in this first game was just the fact that every time there was a Baron fight, they just completely dumpstered the decision making into the ground. Like, I cannot express this enough. Every time there were like a Baron fight or like before it or whatever, they always like went in on it when they're like clearly on the numbers disadvantage. Like literally, they would go in like 2v3, 2v4, 3v5 the entire time when it was Baron, and just catched out the entire time. Half-Life didn't even play that very well. They just played it clean and how you should, while T1 was a bit struggling. But they had control in the early game, so I have to give them that. Now, what is gonna happen in this game? I guess the first 18 minutes they're gonna be like 1 or 2 kills, except they're activating the Clown Fiesta, that is LCK matches. That can happen sometimes, but LCK matches are regularly a bit more calm in that regard. Now, if we look at the team comps, they have some early game power, I have to admit. You can do something with Italy in the first bunch of levels. Morgan also with his Camille, like in the first game. But I still feel like there's a bit of a waiting time here. Faker with the mid-game Renekton, Owner when he scales up, Kana in the team fights in the late stage of the game, Carry and Gumayushi have a bit of kill pressure on the lane, but also a lot of in team fights when you can engage with the Leona and the Culling. Now, the question is rather if it's gonna work with what the enemy bot lane can do it against it, That's the question that I have in my mind, because it looks good, don't get me wrong, but with a Tom Kench on the support role, there can always be an engage that looks super clean. Tom Kench just nope. He's not as good as he was before with his support, because as a support, Tom Kench was always kind of broken in pro play just because of his W mechanic, but now as it switched to his ultimate, and that cooldown is now way higher. It's on his ultimate, but the guy also gets a shield when he leaves Tom Kench's mouth, which, it doesn't do much, because the main thing about Tom Kench W was always the untargetability, not anything else. The shield is nice, don't get me wrong, and it's definitely making Tom Kench able to still be played in support, but it's definitely weaker than the old Tom Kench when it comes to support. But top lane is pretty good. But here it's in support, yeah. I feel like Chovy could have flashed it in. Honestly, if he just flashed it in with Faker just dashed out, I think if he hit that true damage part, Faker would just be dead, but I can appreciate him not going too far. Especially because Set really relies on his flash, and if Chovy just invests that, and Owner can maybe have a cheeky flank on the mid lane. But maybe it's just, it's not that kill heavy. We just want to force Faker a bit of lane, get a bit of more CS than him. It's set against Renekton. In the early game, if he gets a bit of an advantage, that can really change a bit how the laning phase and late stage of the game plays out. drink something. Now, I gotta say that the entire game is, as it is now, LCK fashion, rather slow. I still see some stuff that happened. I mean, in the mid lane, Joey and Faker got themselves a bit on a fight here and there, but still not too much. Now, what's about the first Drake then? Who's gonna contest the first Drake first? Now, if I look at it like so, 2-2 in the river, while none of the bot lane really have pressure to even want to engage here. Vista engages on the carrier knockup does not connect. The root from Gimayushi hits though. So Vista kind of brings Carrier in a bad position, but through his fancy steps and an investment of his flash, he's able to escape that relatively easy. But now that gives pressure to Arm Alive, and they're probably gonna be able to get the Drake here. I guess here. The poke is also pretty good from Deft, so anyway, it looks relatively in control from the Arm Alive bot lane. Probably gonna, I don't know. I'm not the biggest expert on lane wave states and stuff. Okay, Owners here actually can support this. Okay, although Carrier misses his center blade, but it's probably not gonna be meaning much here, especially because Will is also on his way. Warner can still come here if Carrier wants to engage this, but it's probably not gonna happen. Warner just goes through his thing here. Deft and Vista almost catched out Owner, or at least could have stopped his backport. That would have been worth, but fortunately they're a bit too late for that. Good trade here by Chovy and Faker. A better set by Chovy. Faker chunked now pretty good, but then Chovy just EW'd while they had the grid up, and just, that mechanics pretty easy to trade back if you have an ability that shields you, indirectly heals you through the Conqueror, and makes massive true damage against your opponent that he can't dodge because of your ECC. Yeah, that's a yikes for me. Our team one is gonna form themselves around the Herald here. Arm Alive is quick to respond and also move upwards. Carry here's on the sideline, I can engage, doesn't have ultimate, but still the center play is very good engage, reliable, and very good follow-up potential, just because it's full of splashes. Although that could send him in a bad position, but bursting down Leona at this stage of the game is a bit hard, just because you normally don't have too much damage on your hands, except if you're like top or mid laner, but like if jungler, you see that's not that easy, especially with something like a Manidley. Carry is here though. Zenith connects to Morgan. He follows Morgan a bit, but not too much here. Here the Faker engage onto Chovy, just flashes in with the Q, but it's barely not enough. Although a good engage here from Chovy forces Faker out of lane very nicely, denies him a lot of CS, especially because he's already a bit behind. And Deft also gets here a lot of the T1 turret in the bot lane, so that's gonna give him a bit of tower gold, and it looks good. It looks good for High Life. They really push T1 out of there. They really have like they push. Yeah, they have the push. Oh. That lags a bit. Why lagging? Stop lagging. Why is lagging so much? Is it because my internet is lagging, or is it because just like the footage is too much to handle? Man. Okay, I can get you onto Faker just to get that right now. The first blast here with the root of the Deft ultimates. Not really that beatable. But yeah, but let me just see if I can. I think I have to turn down the quality a bit. I don't know why it suddenly lags. I don't know what's that about. Okay, it should still be kind of acceptable, I think. No, I don't know. Let's just see. I really want lags. No lags and quality. Okay, yeah, the engage on here pretty easy. Just the ult from Deft, root, the dash doesn't come through from Faker until the very last second, and it's just collapsed on by those two. Nice first blood. Although on Willa, I would have rather seen it at death, but you know, you do you. Let me just put this on automatic. Maybe it's gonna rather trust YouTube himself. So perfect. Okay. Bit of a dire state here. Although it's a bit. Maybe spare dying to above something. I want to see a bit of in a bag of Kana just to give him a bit of protection. Although Willa is on the bottom of the map. Let's see how this works out. Willa could just take Drake, I honestly just, I mean, One is at that top side, they probably spotted him. And Ono doesn't do anything to really like, he did, he pushes in third of Morgan together with Kana with the Herald. That's kind of worth, especially because Willa doesn't start the Drake. I would have started Drake, but especially because both of your lanes have like pressure. But he rather wants to go top lane and help out Morgan to stop this Rift Herald. That's respectable. He chooses Golden Towers over the Drake, and that is absolutely acceptable. Jovi on the mid lane trade with Faker again. Faker ults here, wants to try to chase down Chovy. It's not going to do much, but especially because Chovy still has his W up. Probably. I don't think he used it before. Now, two of T1's people are in a topside jungle. They could even collapse on Chovy if they really wanted to, but Will is here to force this back. I don't know. I don't think they can force this, except if they really have the balls, but I don't think so. It's just a 3v2. Hamala shouldn't take this, except if they get like some kind of support here. Okay, they engage on Chovy, though the stun locks him up. His W is not being, he's not able to cast his W just because there's a stun that carrier had. The stun lock just from Faker, just damage and W stun, and then he wanted probably to do the W, and this carrier comes, ults him. I think he also Zenith plays on him, and this doesn't see is too much, and he can't cast his W out. Very nice play from T1, just give themselves the advantage that they can get themselves from Chovy and his champion. I mean, CC can be a pretty detrimental thing to set. Why is the thing lagging again? Why is it lagging? I cannot... What the fuck? Jesus Christ. What the fuck is this? Okay, this is annoying. If it just lags the entire time. Aye. Okay, let's do this. Maybe I'm gonna like cover up this footage with like new footage or something. Okay, nice dodge from the left ultimate. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that. Like take some footage from like the after thing, and like put it onto this footage, but just from this point, except like the audio would else cut out. So yeah, it's gonna be really important. This thing right here. Okay, Faker here almost got catched out. Not quite though. Not quite. He's able to get himself out of that one, but it's still a bit of a push him from harm. What they have, I mean, Taiwan has a gold advantage because of the Herald in top lane, but still, Hamalife could almost be just like get themselves in just a small gold advantage just because of the pushes and bit of an advantages they had in the early fading phase. But still, yeah, the Herald push in top lane was good from T1, especially also because I think they got the first blood. Yes. So they have gold advantage, but Hamalife kind of even it out just by the early game actions. And the gold advantage is not big; it's just 1k. That's not even really gold advantage. It's technically a gold advantage, but not really. Chovy here, it's almost trapped by Yumiyoshi's W. And then Herald fight again. Fake is a very bad position. Gets chunked out by Willow's spear. Gotta watch out for the spear. This is gonna be like season 3 in the LE. Just spam that Q there. Faker gets low, pops his ultimate, then engage from carrier on to the pixels. Kinda gets engaged, but Chovy, the W goes wide. He still kills him. Chovy gets down later though. Carrier tries to get away. The blast cone gets him to the other side of the wall. Gets sniped down by Deft. Okay, good. That's not a fight, I think. Yeah, okay. It's a 2v1 trade for more life. More it's Chovy. I don't know what he did with his W. He should have just cast it onto the little hamster named Canna, but I guess it's. I guess he didn't want to. I guess he just had other plans in this. Just. Okay. Peace. Just okay, great. Yep. So here we have to engage here onto engage damage onto Faker, then engage from carrier onto Homolife's ADC. Then Chovy here gets chunked up pretty good, has his W up though, then W zoner for some reason and just dies afterwards. Is able to kill Ken, but that was a bit of questionable W. Deft just snipes carrier, and now Gamish and Faker forced back away. Faker was just poked down so much that he had to pop ultimate and just get out of there. I think it just gone like for a flank or something in the front line that like can't really go forward. I mean, if he goes forward in that just into the enemy team, it just gets stunned by the Camille or flinked back by Chovy, or just gobbled out by La Vista or rooted by Deft. It's just, I think the Renekton here just work as a flanking machine, although the team doesn't really have a frontline, so that's another problem. So I can also understand why they're playing a bit more of a frontline buddy, just like a meatball. But just okay, the Deft ultimate goes wide. Faker nice dash away. The carrier's ultimate doesn't hit quite. Faker W on Deft. The flash goes through, but also the stun. But the flash creates enough distance so that T1 cannot probably follow up on this. Is the Herald gonna go do the second charge? Still alive, so probably, except if they have damage on it. No. Oh, they have. Okay, Herald smited. The charge doesn't come through. Chovy is here, makes the TP, so they force away T1. Kind of moves part to our bot lane. I tried to maybe flank T1, but instead I just drove them off and invested TP for it. But also they kind of lost Herald for it. If Joe didn't TP, they could literally just fight for that turret, even if the Herald was inevitably smited. Like, it's interesting. When I look at my screen, it looks absolutely horrible, and I can barely read the players' names because I have to put the quality so low. When I look at the second screen, however, on the thing that you kind of see, then the footage appears a bit more laggy, but it seems more clear. But I think it's just because the screen that I look at is just smaller and therefore needs less pixels. Interesting. You probably don't understand what I say, but that's just something that, that happens with me. I just say stuff that you probably don't understand. It's just, I talk fun stuff. Oh my god. Yeah. Now how in life you have to pressure here, mid lane. Can just walk around here freely and even try to put a bit of pressure on the T1 jungle. Drake is up. Only here goes a bit of a Chovy, doesn't really do much, but it's a bit of damage, it's always good. Now the engage on Kana from Morgan, TP comes in, Kana top grabs ultimate, now comes Chovy, chunks him into a wall, W does not hit because it goes in the sun, yes he dashes away, does not die, does die though from the Lily engage and from the Varus Q. Lily goes into a Zanias, and Afeka gets catched out as well. Gumayushi cannot really do much with his curtains calling. The curtains fall, but in the favor of Home One Life, and you won't have to back away from this. Bit of a blunder from Kana, just got engaged on by Morgan and just tried to disengage that, but it didn't matter how much disengage he had, it was so low, was just chunked out. And here, the engage from Morgan on Chovy, then comes TP in. Then the Kana ults, then Chovy ults, Fake is in the back line, wants to help Kana. Kana goes into the... okay. It was Deft's Q that killed him. The stun onto Morgan, then the root onto Morgan, but still does not die because of Vista, who gobbles Morgan up and therefore protects him from the curtains calling. So it actually was worth something, but still, that's not good for tier 1. They lost a lot of that and change. It's because of the kill gold, probably because of speeds around the map, and also as the dragon. Careful that get that. Well, I just took that like it was nothing. By the way, maybe you realize that I'm not watching this on the Korean things, but on a Vietnam thing. That is because I searched for stream on YouTube, and the only stream on YouTube that I found is the Vietnam stream. Because on YouTube you can pause and like get like go back. And Twitch you can also pause, but you cannot go back. And it's more comfortable knowing that I can go back if I want to. It's way more comfortable. But you know, you normally, like if you look on the screen, most of the things are on Korean anyways because they're playing on a Korean client, whatever. So it's not really big of a difference, and I'm casting in English, so that's fine. The only thing that like gets in the way is like the Napten gay in the like corner. Napten guy, gay, guy. I don't know. I think that's Vietnam. Owen and Kenny on the bot side. They maybe try to start the Drake here. I'm alive, honestly. The TP. Yeah. Carry spots it. 100%. Yes, the question mark goes in. But Owner and Kana are just so far away. They're just gonna take the Baron like that. It's just so easy. And now Kara's gonna get engaged on. Except if there's the root from Gamishi that saves them. But that's just a Baron for Humble Life. Owner showed himself and it just started Drake. And it didn't even get the T1 down there. Like, what did they do? Literally got nothing. I mean, they got something, but it's not worth a Baron. It's not worth a Baron at the 22nd minute. At least in my opinion. I mean, if you think that's worth, then... I mean, many people... I really think that many people also are thinking that objectives actually... Like, I can understand that many people think that Drakes are just not worth it. Not because they're not giving enough stats, but just the risk of taking Drake is just too much. I can understand that, but still, it's still an objective in the game. And it does, like, is worth something, especially if you have a good comp with it. So... I mean... Humble Life doesn't have the hoarding pushing comp. That's the thing. Like, on one side, they cannot do much with the push of Baron because they don't have hard push. But on the other side, the Baron helps them push because they don't have push. That means they get a flaw out of their team comp, just like out of the team comp just because of the Baron, and that helps them tremendously. I think Humble Life doesn't have the greatest push. I mean, Morgan's a split pusher, he can do stuff. Willer, no. Chovy, bit of an AoE thing, but... And depth, I don't know. Just see now, Drake spawns in a minute. Now I guess probably not. I just want to say probably that's gonna happen. And now Chovy goes on the Faker. The W does not hit, at least the true damage part not. Faker maybe re-engages on the Chovy and it wants. No, he backs off. I just want to say that probably nothing happens since the Drake spawns in a minute. But then bam, Faker and Chovy fight it out again. The root onto Carrier doesn't do too much damage, but nice. No, I mean, it does damage. It just does not enough damage to kill. The cover from Owner does not kill Chovy, and I mean Deft. And Deft just hides behind Vista, the fat frog. And yeah, just have the bag. You probably have to give up this turret just because of the poke that Varus had. I mean, it's just said that like that I don't have enough damage, but then I realized that they didn't really to kill them, but just like force them out of their lane and get a turret. And now with the turret, they have so much pressure on the mid lane that they can just, you know, get that Drake easily, especially with the Baron buff. If they get Drake, they can still... I mean, the Baron buff goes out soon enough, but they could have had the ability to push this in before they went to the Drake. And now they have so much push on every lane that they just take the Drake, and now they're in Soul Point. And now T1 is just not doing anything. I just think they're like in the last game they were a bit too proactive. They just took fights that they could not take. Just don't take those fights. And now I feel like they're taking not enough fights, or better said, they're giving Harmonife so many advantages because they obviously do mistakes. Just like with the Herald in top lane, or with the Baron fight when Owner showed himself on bot lane. It's just I don't know, man. Okay, Morgan, watch out there. You're maybe gonna get catched out if you push this lane just a bit too long. Okay, the scoreboard goes away. We know there's engage coming, not engaged. The Zenith Blade, the Q does get the E off the flash also. Owner follows him. Morgan has a shield. He maybe just dodged this, but not able to escape this one. He does pop the flash of Owner, and I think also the flash of Carrier, and also ultimates and stuff, so Harmonife can push this in. Morgan, this was a death of your part because you didn't watch. Okay, nice ult death. That was on your part, but it was a good death. Okay, you pulled resources out of the enemy team, so that's not the worst death I've seen. It's okay. It's absolutely okay. Kinda now pushing this bot lane, while Chovy here is on the top lane. Harmonife's getting all of the farm in the jungle from T1, just so that they can get the score from this one. Kinda in the meantime, just get himself the T2 on bot. Don't know how worth that is, but it's worth something. But Harmonife got one death, but also they got, I think, a turret, and just the jungle camps and stuff, and also some resources. Look here, Morgan, the QE, the Zenith Blade, but the Zhonya's together with the Kamali gets himself almost out of the situation. Unfortunately, though, he's not able to quite get away just because Owner follows up with the flash, and the damage is there, and Morgan does not have the best resistance items. The only resistance item he really has is, Tab Ice and a bit of health. So that's not too much, man. That's just not too much. Oh yeah. So now I'm a bit quiet. I'm not sometimes I just don't see stuff I'm talking about, and I don't want to talk about useless stuff the entire time. So sometimes I talk about useless stuff, sometimes I talk about the details, sometimes I just don't talk because there's either not enough useless stuff to talk about or details, or I just feel like I just gotta get my breath back a bit. I gotta learn that too. I wanna be kind of a shot caster, so that's not really my thing, but still, there gotta be situations where I have to do this, or when I want to do this, or when I'm able to do this. I should learn that. But I've given enough commentary a bit in this match, I think. I try to explain some stuff. Now, the advantage here is cleaning on the bot lane. They have 50 CS ahead, 2 kills ahead, 1 assist ahead. The bounty onto death, while Gummidish has not died once in the entire game, but still has no bounty on his name. Well, Theft has a 550 bounty. It's kind of nutty. But sorry. Now, what's gonna happen here? How will I have the control over the Drake pit and the poke from Deft? Her fake is already half alive. That's such a good advantage. If they get like Carrier low as well, it's really good. It's really good. Carrier has to watch out that he doesn't go low. Okay, Deft's ultimate goes wide. Gumayushi, I mean owner, got slow as well. Deft just does so much for his team. The poke is incredible. Just incredible. Now Fake is full life again. Runs into Chovy. Is pretty much half life again, but now they engage onto Chovy's. Fake is doing good much. Oh my god, Carry gets popped in the backside just for a poke of Deft and Willa. Now on the gauge of Fake, Canem, I mean. The root hits on Tam Kench, prevents the engage, but that's the Deft on the Faker. And I'm just gonna get themselves a Drake, no? I think they're just gonna get themselves a Drake. Only here. Morgan, dangerously close together. If any one of them goes in the wish of the other, that's gonna be dangerous. Actually, yeah, he's I didn't see that. There was a controller there. He saw him. Sorry, I missed that. Sorry. But that's a Drake. That's Drake solely even found alive, just because of the attractiveness they showed today. Look at this. Willer, bam, bam, together with Deft, just Deft. And then Faker in the backside just gets chunked down by Chovy, just auto attack after auto attack, just does so much damage. And then the only reason why Kana probably doesn't die here is because of the root of Gumayushi onto Vista. Yeah, Gumayushi plays pretty clean this game. He doesn't have too many proactive things to talk about, but hey, there are 3 kills and he has 3 assists on all of them. I think that's pretty proactive for an ADC when 3 kills are on his team and he has participation in all 3 kills. But see, he doesn't have a kill on one of them, so that's bad. I mean, I literally look at the items of Deft and Gumayushi, and I see like, yes, and complete one item Deft. The literally has just 1 item more. Literally, it's like 1 item more plus a stopwatch. He has 1 item more than Gumayushi plus a stopwatch. That's pretty important. Okay, nice touch from the spear. I really thought that would hit. I really thought that. But the combination of Willa and Deft, of Varus and Nil is just... it's disgusting. It's really disgusting. And imagine if this was more like the old Nidalee. Then it would be even more disgusting, because the old Nidalee really was just an artillery mage in disguise. What even disguise? He was just an artillery mage at this point. But now she's just like a artillery mage and can also go in kind of guy. Which honestly, when I think about it, it's kind of cool. Imagine if Seraph could actually go in melee range. That's kind of Nidalee. She just has the artillery and engage factor on the same thing, while still having no really CC, but also heal. Carrier, maybe you can hit an ult here on the sideline. He is on vision though. Pokemon on the carry is pretty good, especially because of the armor penetration that Deft has here. Doesn't hit every arrow, but just like half the arrows hit of Deft. And it's like they have to flank Deft. Deft is giving them so much space, so much damage, and so much gold and time. It's insane. Deft is so worth in this series just because he prevents Faker and Carrier the entire time from going in just because they're too low. Okay, engage on the Kana. Kana goes away with the stun. He goes into Zonius. He's gonna pop his ultimate. He already popped it. I didn't even say it. Sorry. Okay, there comes the flash engaged onto further follow-up, but now Gumayushi has a backup. It's gonna kill Morgan off, but now this is another ban for Humble Life, honestly. Is Owner here? I don't think so. It's just in the re-engage here. Owner, he was there, but he's flanked into the pit by Chovy. That wasn't really good. Carrier with fancy feet. He's gonna be able to escape. The slow stacks up. It's not gonna be enough. It's just gonna be a follow-up and kill the pawn. Gumayushi probably too. The exhaust and the slow hits on him. Is another slow coming? It's not a slow is coming, but he flashed over the wall. He's just able to get away. Chovy just pushes his 35 minutes because he is such a murderous freaking Chad mate. Okay, Kana colts off the minions in the backside. That's good. It's not gonna do too much, but still, it's something. He calls the minions off, probably able to get the inhib, I think. But they're getting the T2 top turret. That's gonna be worth as well. Oh, I just love how Owner was just freaking flipped into the bear pit. Like he literally flinked the enemy jungler into the Baron pit while there was like a smite fight thing. Now here Kana gets engaged by Morgan, the ult comes out, Morgan gets damaged a lot. Now Kana goes back, Druid doesn't hit quite enough, Kana flashes away, Morgan does not hit the sweet spots, cannot get one or two auto attacks off, and Gumisha just shoots him in the head. Now here Owner, Chovy, look at Chovy, he goes near him, then flag, okay, oh! Now I see it. Chovy wanted to ult away Owner, but Owner flashed in exact same time when he pressed ult. So instead of flinging him back, Owner was flinked into the Baron pit, but unfortunately he wasn't able to smite this. So if he was actually able to smite this would have been one of the best outplays I've ever seen. Like imagine like flashing into a set so he gets you in the pit and gets you the steal. That would be so freaking epic, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Then Gage onto Gumayushi, just get catched out. What are you doing? That's just a loss. They have no damage. I mean, Owner's there, but it's not going to do much here, especially if the Gage on Kana is just popped. 3v2. The carry here trying to do his best, but you know, Zonius gonna keep himself alive. The W haymaker just burst them all in fake is the only one standing. Life gets this game for themselves as they play out a clean poke and just exterminate comp. Now engage on the Faker, who is a bit of a cunt. Okay, a bit of a cunt for the Star Watch, but you know, he does his things, and that's a win for Life. Very good played. I still think, while I think the first game was on T1 not playing good enough, this game T1 played fine, but I think just Life outplayed them. Like, it's just, I think some things were really fun, just really funny or good from T1, just because like the tendency of Owner using the set ultimate was kind of fun, but in the end, Life just got advantages because of T1's mistakes, and they understood T1, took them, and took the advantages, and actually got them, and did them. It sounds dumb, but that's actually something impressive, because I just feel like that's something that more teams should do. Not only play good themselves, but also get advantages from the errors of their opponents, especially against teams like T1 here, who really did do some bad things. Not just, perhaps some things were planned, and they thought that would be more worth to get this than contest Life, but still in the end, Life got an advantage, and I think this is a best of 5, I think. So let's see how this works out for T1 and Life.